ARK Genesis Part 2 is almost upon us, bringing a wealth of new features to completely transform the game we know today. But what are the best features that you want now? You're right kids, it's Raasclark and welcome to another top 10 as voted by you in my community polls here on YouTube. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around and let's get into it. So in at number 10, you voted the Canoe. A portable method of travelling across bodies of water. The Canoe can hold up to 3 survivors and it can move faster with each paddling survivor. It's going to be great for storing your consumables and freshly caught fish. It's certainly a step up from the raft, and one of the first vehicles to be able to get picked up and carried around by a survivor aside from the hover sail. It actually resembles the dinghy from ARK's sister game Atlas, giving us a glimpse of what it might look like in-game. And I believe you voted it in because of its primitive appeal. It's the only primitive thing that's coming to ARK Genesis Part 2, appealing to the less tech-inclined players out there. But it also supplies a new method of transport, and what I believe will be a vital requirement in the hazardous biome of Rockwell's Garden. In at number 9, the Exo-Mech. And what we know, the Exo Suits are tech robots that can be piloted by survivors, armed with giant hands and constructed with a visible cockpit. It was originally referred to as the Exo Suit, which was quickly changed to the Exo-Mech a few hours later. And the devs go on to say, with the deployment of the Exo-Mech, you will be able to change the tide of a battle, enjoy an aerial view or manage your base to perfection with ease, but only after you pass the ultimate test, leading us to believe you will only unlock this at the end of the game, and it possibly giving you an aerial view, controlling your base from the skies. It has a similar design combination to the amplified mobility platform from the movie Avatar, a Titan from Titanfall, and the armoured personnel unit from the Matrix film series. Some of the Exo-Mechs can be seen in the Genesis Part 2 trailer. Whether if there was anyone piloting the Exo-Mech or not is unknown, due to the obscurity of the Exo-Mech pilot windows. But it's a mech, it's a new mech. The OG mech is certainly a favourite, and to possess a new one that appears to have a multifunctional appeal seems to be a great opportunity for those mech lovers out there, so it's no surprise to see this in the number 9 spot. And I've also got a theory that I believe the non-piloted ones will be similar to OSDs on Extinction. I've got a video on that, I'll leave a link in the description. In at number 8, the Minigun. The rapid firing chief is a deployable weapon that can be used to rapidly fire at a target. The minigun requires a survivor to wind it up and it can overheat from overuse, but when deployed, the survivor is able to better concentrate their fire on a target. As the devs say, who needs to be accurate when you're firing a massive barrage of bullets to keep your enemies under pressure? When you're not wielding it, place it in stationary mode to improve its accuracy and clear targets around corners, meaning you'll be able to peer around corners with this absolute monster. And speaking of monsters, Wildcard have gone on record to say they expect you to fight bosses with this thing. It's going to be that powerful. Additionally, they have said that the ammo box will be able to be used hand in hand with the minigun, meaning you won't have to refill its ammo and can simply automatically pull it from the ammo giving box that we'll mention further on in this list. In at number 7, the Maewing. Engineered to be the ultimate interstellar wet nurse and surrogate parent. In addition to automatically taking care of your babies, the Maewing can steal enemy offspring by kidnapping them and luring their young in for an irresistible suckle at its bounteous teats. That's what the dev said. It resembles a hybrid mix of a platypus and a sugar glider, 2 mammals that live in Australia. And who else is from Australia? Of course, our main ARK protagonist Helena. It should be noted that there is a basket in the Maewing saddle, possibly used to store the lured babies. And maybe you can only steal babies when they're at actual baby stage, like the Procoptodon. It's also gone on record this thing will be able to raise your baby dinos, automatically taking care of them, being able to glide in the air, and able to carry up to 3 or maybe more, we'll find out after release, baby creatures, both on the ground and in flight. And it's not surprising to see this in the list, possibly having some similarities to the nanny mod. This could without question be a huge game changer in having to look after baby creatures. In at number 6, the ammo box. The ammo box is able to store and distribute a variety of ammunition across certain emplacements and possibly weapons. As long as it is supplied, the ammo box will ensure that all emplacements in a set radius do not run out of ammunition. So think a bit like the item aggregator in the Structures Plus mod, being able to distribute ammo to whatever you choose. It's a massive change to gameplay. Up until now we've been manually filling turrets, so to have that grind taken away and for us to be able to automatically fill all turrets we want in range is going to be a godsend in saving valuable grindy time in ARK. In at number 5, the Tech Bow. It's capable of firing various arrow types, such as an explosive arrow. It can be fueled by element shards, which are consumed at varying rates depending on the type of arrow that is being shot. The arrow flies faster the longer you charge up the shot, and at its highest speed it's like a regular bullet, setting this up to be an OP weapon. Looking at the compound bow specifically, and how devastating that is, having a tech version that can fire as hard as a bullet just seems insane, and there's a lot of you out there that want to see this, of course voting it in at number 5. What's worth noting, originally the tech bow was cut content from Raasclark, but now of course is being added to Genesis Part 2. In at number 4, biome-specific creature variants. Now a lot of you seem to want this one, and think like the aberrant variants or X variants on Genesis. And so far we've had confirmed the Equus, the Dilo, but most importantly the Reaper. A lot of you out there are excited to see a new variant of the Reaper, and if so, is it going to be better in certain stats? We know the X types on Genesis Part 1 are better in particular stats, so could the Reaper be a better melee or health version? Confirmed spawns that might be variants include the Bronto, the Pteranodon, the Seeker, the Compy, the Glowbug, Quetzal, Stego, Pelagornis, Woolly Rhino and the Griffin. And hopefully we'll see biome-specific versions of all of these. Another reason why I think it's being voted so highly, beyond you wanting new versions of the creatures you love, is the possibility of a new Drake. I did a video on this before, link in the description, but with the artwork that was teased, the Drake egg we can see in this picture isn't the same purple Drake egg we've seen before. Cue a lot of people expecting a new Drake variant on Genesis Part 2. In at number 3, the Void Wyrm. The Void Wyrm greatly resembles a tech/robotic version of the wyvern in my opinion, as wyrms are a subspecies of dragon in the mythology same as drakes, wyverns and managamas. This could possibly indicate it's another subspecies of Draconis in the game that's mostly cybernetic in appearance. But lest we forget, a tech saddle model for the wyvern can be found in the dev kit, appearing to be cut content from Raasclark, similar to the tech bow, and the Void Wyrm appears to have a similar design to this cut tech saddle. If it is indeed the essentially tech wyvern we expect it to be, imagine a new variant that shoots sheer element. That's what a lot of you are expecting, and I'm intrigued to see how we are going to tame or egg steal from this new wyvern variant. In at number 2, the Shadowmane. Certainly the most anticipated creature to come to ARK. It's feline in appearance and bears a strong resemblance to lions. Shadowmanes have a frill, which is more pronounced amongst males, and the male's frill bears a resemblance to the lionfish, making it look semi-aquatic, and it may be semi-aquatic in game. Shadowmanes are able to dash, dealing damage to all targets in its path, like a cross between an enforcer and a phoenix. But certain capabilities of a Shadowmane are directly determined by its gender. Male Shadowmanes are capable of roaring, buffing allied creatures around it, not unlike a UT, whilst a female Shadowmane is able to render itself as well as other allied creatures invisible, making this possibly the buffing creature in ARK. The design of the Shadowmane appears to be a twist on the real-life lionfish, but does have a physical anatomy very similar to a lion, whilst at the same time bearing the fins/barbs of a lionfish as its mane, as well as other fish-like features on its body, theorising this thing will go through water as well as on land, not least confirmed by its codename, which is indeed Lionfish Lion. And an interesting fact, one of the unnamed humanoid creatures from the ARK 2 trailer appears to be wearing some sort of Shadowmane mask. But you voted it in at number 2, which means there must be one thing you want more than anything else in ARK upon Genesis 2 dropping. But before we get to that, let's have a quick special mention to the ones that didn't just make the cut. So you voted in at number 1 the egg incubator. The egg incubator can incubate up to 10 eggs by keeping them at the desired temperature. Additionally, the egg incubator is able to analyse the stats and colours that a creature will have when it hatches, before it hatches. So looking at the new UI that the devs brought in with cryos, it's no coincidence, and I'm expecting something similar to these when you're viewing the eggs in the incubator. Ultimately, this allows the survivor to decide whether or not to hatch an egg, meaning this is going to be a game changer for raising baby creatures, with a lot less time wasted on seeing if the egg you want to hatch is going to be the egg you want. With some eggs unofficial taking up to 2 days to hatch, it's going to make life so much easier, less grindier, and especially help those that are looking to mutate their creatures to get the best stats and colours in their creatures, ultimately making this the biggest game changer in ARK, and without question, as you voted it in at number 1. Thanks all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Did you agree? Comment below, let me know. Was there anything that you learned? I really want to know, and I can't wait to get my hands on these, and obviously you can't too. And there's not long left to wait. 26th of May. Make sure to subscribe, as I will be covering all of this in the flesh, in depth, as it drops. What more top 10s would you like to see? Comment below. My name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always, peace out.